Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So, I am Moira Cormack, and today I am joined by Olivia. And,
Olivia!
and we are going to be talking about flirty finances, which seems a really nice way of doing it. Much more fun than anything the bank manager ever told me about.
Mhm. One day, that's the hope, that we'll be flirting in the banks, definitely, teaching this to every human.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Money is flirtatious. So, Olivia, would you like to say a little bit about yourself, where you are in the world, and what brought you to create Flirty Finances?
Well, where I am is elated to be in your Scottish, so quintessential space environment in this October day. I am in the New England of America, in the Berkshire Hills here. And there's so many hats that one wears. Ooh, especially when their sequins get caught on their sequins. As you can see, was born glittery and excited. And I had so many experiences in life where I was just shut down every time I asked something about money. And so, through a whole slew of experiences of going to a prestigious college and running away and joining the circus and studying abroad, I came to develop a way to integrate how our bodies are holding our money beliefs and
Uh-huh.
what we can do about it so that we feel abundant and we feel happy and we feel healthy.
That is so needed
Yeah.
because very few of us, I mean, money and sex, they are such taboos. People don't talk about money still, like you can't casually say to somebody, oh, so how much do you earn?
Mhm.
I mean, it's not like, have you got a
Or,
dog?
or what sexual position do you like? And so
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I, I
you
I
can say,
do think those taboos are sort of what sparked me on this path, is that I love to talk about sex, race, and money, and finances cover all of that, certainly.
they really, really do. They
Mhm.
really do. They're a great deal of fun. So when is your course starting?
Ooh, this cohort is starting November 2nd, 2023. It runs 5 weeks and we meet twice a week. So I want to make clear for people who are listening, this course is only for you if you really can feel that heaviness of your relationship with money and you are willing to do something about it, because it's not the kind of course where you listen to the recording and fall asleep or never do the exercises. I am relentless. I am so passionate about people having a way to actually change their habits that it is live twice a week, and you will get my expert eyes on your situation. So it runs until December 7th. And we've scheduled the classes so that they actually try to work for people in Europe, Australia, and both coasts of California. So there are possibilities.
I have no idea what time of the day could possibly work for every single time zone all around the world.
We're doing our best. We're going to try this out. We'll see how it goes, because this
I,
really is a global problem. It's a crisis that not just women, that people feel disempowered with their money, because that's an extension of who they are in the world. It's how we interact with the world. And so we need to reach as many people as possible. As everything that people learn in this course, I want them to talk to their friends about. So this is truly a mission of changing the fabric of the world.
yes. The other thing, of course, is that money is a primal fear because it's the fear of our survival. So while some of the other lovely topics like sex are taboos, they don't have necessarily the same fear. The fear of our survival is really, really deep.
Mm.
And so we don't, and the minute we start contracting into that, we stop believing that we live in an abundant world. Would
Ooh,
you like to speak about that?
I love how you brought that contracting in, and really I work hard to not play this shame game or blame game. If you don't know how to handle your finances, it is not your fault.
Yes.
Hardly any of us were taught how to have a healthy relationship with money. And so I find that people really shut down. And that phrase, put your head in the sand. I talk to clients and they say, this bill came, but I couldn't open it until you were on the phone. Of this, it feels like life or death, just as you said, that we're going to starve to death if this bill isn't paid on time. And so that physical somatic reaction, we need to give it a voice.
Yes.
And we need to find a way that we can accept that part of ourselves. And only from then can we go to that place of abundance.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that contracting that you mentioned is so central to people's experience, and it gets them stuck. It's that feeling of, I know this is not okay, but what can I do about it? And so that's where this community and group comes in, of going, we see you right there and stuck, and it's okay. And what's this one tiny step you can take today?
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
And I like that you say one tiny step, because you have to start. You have to start somewhere. And if you just make a tiny difference, it's like you've planted a seed.
Mm.
And you're not going to say to the seed, stupid seed, you're not a tree, when I've just planted you. And so, it's the same with your money. You have to be very gentle. We have to be gentle with ourselves. And
Mm.
then, and you spin us round, do you, so that we can look at it and feel it differently.
Yes, exactly. And that sometimes you plant a perennial and some of them don't come up for the first 1 or 2 years.
That's right.
And I love that you brought up that seed, because so many people, when we get on our first call, they say, when are you going to fix me? And when will you fix my bank account? And I understand that question. And it speaks so much to the urgency we feel, which is counteracted from the stuckness we feel. And so that
Yes.
idea that every tiny moment where you are feeling good about your money truly is rewriting your story. And so
Yes.
that is the somatic nature of my class, which is we are getting used to feeling not just okay about money, but feeling wonderful. And it's not something that flick the switch is on and now everything has changed. It didn't take you 5 weeks to get into your money situation. It took a lifetime, and this is a lifelong journey that you can either begin now or not ever, or not soon. So everyone has that choice to make.
Yeah. And one of the things that you said at the beginning that I thought was really interesting was that people said, when can you fix me? And of course, that's what people want. They're looking outside of themselves all the time for somebody to fix them. Whereas nobody can fix you. You have to fix yourself. Somebody can guide you, which it sounds like you're doing. But how much better for all these people to be empowered? Because what's that old expression? Give a man a fish and he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish and he's eating for the rest of his life. So you're
Mhm.
basically saying that you're not just going to show you how to do it once,
Right.
you're showing them how to do it so they are empowered after the
Mhm.
course.
That, yes, thank you for bringing that metaphor back, because there is the flavor of, you're in this space, we're in our flirty finance community, and it feels great. And then we hang up the phone. And there is the inner work. And it's often, because we are social creatures, it's harder to tap back into that by yourself. And I think we've been sold this false idea that we're supposed to be able to do it ourselves. And so
Yes.
there's that interplay between I'm in this space, I'm feeling more positive, I'm alone. What is the journey back to finding that space? Here are the other people. They heard that I was alone and feeling tight again. And now we go back. So it's this beautiful, I am a retired professional trapeze artist. And
Yes.
so it is this pendulum of you start with the swing and it goes back and forth. And it's always
Mm.
different. You're at a different place in the arc, but there is that rhythm of transformation. And that's really at the root of the idea of flirting.
Yes, I love the whole thing that you're talking about, the rhythm, because there is a rhythm to life, and there is a rhythm to our thoughts as well. So that when we get stuck in a disempowering thought, and I mean, I was for years, I remember walking into the kitchen and my voice was going, blah, 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 you can't afford that. And I
Uh-huh.
looked at my voice and I went, you're not my voice, you're my dad's voice still
Mm,
talking to
so
me.
powerful.
I've been carrying you for so long. I think it's time you left.
What a
And you,
great story, because also that phrase, I can't afford that,
yes,
is so common, but also so disempowering. So there's the one side of language is important, of I'm choosing not to pay for that right now. But there's also the flavor, which is really powerful part of this flirty finance work, is being aware of that deprivation. When you hear that I can't afford it, is it because you feel deprived of something and there's an essential need? Is it a need for feeling important? Is it a need for self-care and relaxation? And there are always options of how we meet that need that have varying costs financially. So it starts to tap into listening to those needs. What is spoken to when you say, I can't?
yes. And also, like for me, it wasn't actually any of those things. It wasn't me at all.
Yeah.
And although I had been saying it for years and years and years, it was never my voice.
Mm-hmm.
The difficulty is, of course, that a lot of us have heard that voice for so long that we actually believe it is us and we
Right.
can't separate us from the voice. So we take on the beliefs and the disempowering and not being good enough and all of those things. So it's deep work you're doing. It must be hugely transformational through other areas of somebody's life once they've done the money work.
Yes. And that what you're speaking to is that returning to our true selves. I know you work with the inner child, of coming back to who our truth is and what our truth is. And part of that is really addressed. I think people would be surprised to experience this, but it really has been proven time and time again as I work in groups, that kind of return to truth is served so well by doing this work in community. And so this is the one place you're never, as you said, supposed to talk about money. So Olivia, why would I ever enter a course where we're going to be bearing our souls? Like you said, every aspect of our lives is reflected in money.
Yeah.
But it is so, oh, it's gorgeously powerful, because then we're hearing other people's stories, and we are able to hear, oh, that's Moira's dad's voice. And when we
Mm-hmm.
can see that in you, then we are able to shed a layer in ourselves. And so I want to make sure people understand the group dynamic is not an accident. It is very purposeful to help this kind of deeper healing that, as you said, affects every aspect of our lives.
Yes. I mean, I I like to go back to the example of Alcoholics Anonymous
Uh-huh.
because they all heal in groups as well. And they
Mhm.
were one of the very first and a really amazing program for healing. But we need witnessing so often in life. We need witnessing. So a
Mhm.
group dynamic isn't that you're giving less, it's that everybody is enriching.
Mm.
um, so it sounds wonderful.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to tell you that experience of, I have some clients, they come to the group and they have 12 credit cards that still have balances and they feel completely blocked. How can they ever surmount this debt? And just the practice over the first couple of weeks of saying out loud what the debt is and having other people see that list. And people don't have to share if they don't want to. There is that autonomy there built into the course. But what I've seen is when people do share and they've let other people witness, just as you say, then their nervous systems come to a place where now they can make decisions and they can start
Yes.
to see possibilities because someone has witnessed their pain and their truth. Yeah.
Yes. And everything that is taboo is a secret.
Mm.
And secrets eat us up,
Oh,
trying to keep a secret because it's a box full of snakes and you're constantly trying to keep the lid on to stop them getting out of the box. Back in, back in, back in. And those secrets, they have to be so told, they have to be shared.
mhm.
And we have to be able to face some of the shame, some of the expectation that we are not who we were told we would be, that
Mhm.
we would have this or we would have that, or in order to be this or that, we've spent money that we didn't have. And
Yes.
so we are this or that, but we feel like frauds.
Yeah, that feeling like a fraud. So many people, I ask them, Why would you ever do money coaching?" And they say, "I just never felt like a grown up about money." And
Yes.
those secrets you're talking about, I have clients who their salaries are higher than all of their siblings and their parents, but they are in so much more debt and their families have no idea. And they always think, well, you're the well off ones. Why don't you lend us money? I have
Yes.
clients who their partners don't know about some of their debt or lack of savings. They think they've been contributing to retirement and they haven't been. And so those secrets, just like you say, not
Hmm.
only emotionally weigh us down, not only do they wake us up in the middle of the night, not only do they create that real pain, but they actually keeping those secrets blocks our ability to transform.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, because they keep us stuck. They're stuck energy getting heavier and heavier and heavier. Yeah, the man that loses his job and can't tell his wife. I mean, it's just
Mm.
and so then you can't have intimacy. So intimacy goes, and then you lose your wife and you lose your job.
And then your confidence goes. And,
Yeah, yeah. And
oh,
everything that you feared happens. So, yeah, I mean, I can imagine that there are huge practical and emotional benefits for the people who come on your course with you.
mhm.
Would you like
Yeah,
to talk about that?
I love how you separated those into practical and emotional because I think there are a lot of courses and there are a lot of books where it's easy to read about the emotional aspects, start to have an awareness of your family money stories, which your dad's voices, what is your memory of your mother with money? Um, and I think that is crucial for this transformation, but it's very important for anyone considering this class to know that I will always bring it back to the practical.
Yeah.
Those feelings have a place and we honor them, and we actually learn more about them by coming back to the numbers. And so someone will be in a place where it's really tough and we say, okay, what do your numbers actually say? And we bring it back. And so it's again that pendulum. But it's very important for people to understand that because there are a lot of offerings that are about your abundance frequency and your vibration. And I do not poo poo any of this. I love this work. And yet, what I have found people need are tools and
Yes.
practical tools and strategies and ways to change their habits. So the course goes over 5 weeks. It A lot of studies have said it takes 21 days to create a new habit. So there's a moment in the course where we say, all right, this is day 1 of your 21 days of the habits you're creating for the rest of your financial life.
Yep.
And so that is one of the most practical benefits people get of creating a system for themselves that works for their lives on their timing, whether they have children, whether they run a business, whether they're empty nesters and don't have structure in their day. All of that, there's room
Yep.
for creating your own system. Depending on who the people are, uh, practical results that people have gotten are that they start saving for the first time since their 30s, when they cashed out their 401k and their retirement accounts, and they've been beating themselves up for that since they were 30. So having not only those dollars or euros or pounds in the savings, but also having a practical plan for when and how those savings are used. Another benefit has been that people simplify their accounts.
Yes.
That is so hard to do on your own. And so to have my expert eyes on something and say, this is where your cash is flowing, this is what's going to serve you best and make your money life easier without having to change other things yet, even. You don't have to stop having the coffee or going out to eat. When you change the system of your bank accounts and your savings accounts, oh, so many things flow. People consolidating their debt, people have paid off debt. All these different strategies and practical tools are a huge benefit of the course.
Yes. And
But
I
as
can
you said,
see,
that emotional side,
yes.
sorry, this is just,
I was gonna link the emotional and practical as well, because I was going to say that if you only do the emotional work, but if you don't do the practical work, the emotional work isn't kind of shored up.
Yeah.
So it's all loose and you could just fall into the secrets and the taboo again.
Yes.
But by feeling all the feels and then building it up practically, then you're like, oh, you're actually, the practical work as you build it steps into the emotional work and one supports the other. That's
Yeah.
how it sounds like. Yeah, it
Yes.
sounds great.
Yes. And so those emotional, what clients have told me are, I trust myself now. That is a huge emotional benefit of they're not waking up in the middle of the night trying to remember, wait, which bill needs to be paid tomorrow and where do I have to transfer that money from, into which account. They have that full body. It's a sense of peace that comes from self-trust because they know, I have a system now. So I may not know the answer, but I can find a way to it. And I trust myself to find that way. So that's the hugest benefit that everyone says. But also people say they're enjoying their money more.
Yes.
And they're enjoying their lives more because they see how their desires and their needs are reflected in how they spend money. And so the resentment about paying bills often shifts. So the emotional benefits run the gamut depending on who we're working with. But you're right that it's the practical that grounds it.
Yeah, that grounds it. Yeah, so that they can take it away and the emotions don't just return. So the
Yes.
benefit ripples on after they've gone because they can constantly shore themselves up with the practical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, can I ask you, Olivia,
Yeah, maybe.
what brought you to do money? What was your journey to money? Because you mentioned being a trapeze artist.
Aw.
And I remember I have 4 girls. I had 3 under 3, and then I had another one. And there was a phase when they were cartwheel children, and everywhere we went, they would cartwheel, cartwheel, cartwheel. Up until they were 16 or 17, I remember going through the airport in Morocco, and they were so excited. They said, can we cartwheel?" And I said, "Yes, they can." And they,
She's
they
so happy.
so happy at this, how can we express joy? and
Mhm.
and so, I mean, I don't know if you were a trapeze artist, if it felt when you first started doing it, if it felt just like a sheer expression, an exhilaration of joy inside you,
Mm.
and that you bring that joy to the work that you do now.
No one has ever asked me that kind of question. So thank you. And I'm glad I said maybe you can ask me. The honest answer is it's not very glamorous. Of really when I started trapeze, it felt very dutiful.
Oh,
Yes, there was the exhilaration in the moment, but I actually was completely clueless. And coming back to community, as I was living with a bunch of, as you would say, mates in university, and And I was doing trapeze and I was having a very difficult time writing my thesis about cross-strait political economic relations between Taiwan and the mainland of China. And so I knew I was in that money world. I was so depressed. And after a few months, she said, "But Olivia, you're always in such an amazing mood when you come back from trapeze." And I was totally clueless. I went, "Okay, that's something that makes me happy. Okay, I should do that." So it was in that world of shoulds, which I think a lot of people often can relate to. I should be saving more. I should spend less. I should ask for a raise. And so I've been there of that feeling of this is good for me, I should do it. And then there was a time, which is why I stopped being a professional trapeze artist, where I was able to tap into these are the parts that are fun about trapeze. I
Yes.
love actually letting go of the bar and landing in the net, which when I was professional, living on a train and touring, our particular act, the lights went off before we went to the net.
Oh, I
And
see.
and so realizing, no, that's the part I love. The part I didn't love was being scared all the time. I wasn't in a community in a troupe where any of us said we were scared. And so that journey really, I think, relates to a lot of people's money journey of that feeling of what are the parts that really feel good, not what should I be doing?
Yes. I mean, I would red ink or black ink some words and everything that goes with them and score them out of every single person in the world's vocabulary. And one of the key ones is should.
Yes, yes, that SH word.
Yes. But I can see from what you said that you were keeping almost secrets from yourself because you weren't aware what made you happy.
Look at
And
this, Moira. Yes, you nailed it.
and so we and the one of the things is that until we sign up for a course or something like that, we don't fully realize what secrets we're keeping from ourselves. It
Mhm.
can take somebody else's eye on us to see us,
Mhm.
and and sometimes we can be, from my experience, if I'm uncomfortable with what somebody has said,
Mhm.
there's probably truth in it.
Ah, yes. If anything here is having a person go, no, I'm not like that. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I love how you framed that in terms of when we're considering a course, because pri- specifically with a course about finances, when
Yeah.
we see so deeply that we need a shift and we need help, that's actually when we tighten up more. That contraction you were talking about, when it's about money, why would I spend money to have more money? So for
Yeah.
so many people, it is this feeling of contraction and resistance. And number one, that's why I offer payment plans, because the whole point of this course is to contribute to people's financial health. And so there are ways to do that. And I talk to people before the classes because sometimes it is not the perfect thing for them at that time. So I do like to check in with people and find out their particular financial situations so we can serve them best. But that feeling of contraction, as you said, there's that decision to start a course or that willingness to try, and that all of a sudden, in and of itself, ooh, something changes because you have made a commitment to yourself. And
Yes.
that is a powerful portal to walk through.
Yes. So it's the same when we say, when with any addiction, we have to own it first. So
Ooh.
the addiction is, I have a bad relationship with money.
Mm,
I need to change my relationship with money. And we can have a bad relationship with money, with sex, with drugs, with alcohol, with chocolate, with food, with a whole range of stuff. So the people who sign up for you,
mhm,
they must all at some level have a poor relationship with money. So part of this is also because when we mend a relationship with one of the things on the list I just
mhm,
said, we then find that we're mending the relationships with other things on that
Yes.
list, because one healthy relationship can change all our relationships. It shines a light on them all. So in a way, you're in the money relationship business, and we're at the stage where we're saying, "Hi there, money."
Hello, money. Ooh, we might like each other,
We
money.
might like each other if we got to know each other a bit more. If you share your secrets, I'll share mine.
Oh, it's so good. See, it brings out the flirt in everyone. You said a really important, I mentioned an important idea, which is when we say I'm bad with money, there is an attachment to that identity.
Yes.
And there's that fear of who would I be without that identity? What if I were good with money? Again, personally, I try not to use the word good of like, what if I had a healthy relationship with money? And there are people who have followed me for years saying, well, my relationship with money isn't that bad. It's not that bad. And so I often ask, is that one of those places where we're not telling ourselves completely the truth? And at the same time, it doesn't have to be that bad for you to want it to improve. And so that idea, some of actually the clients who have worked with me the longest came to me with very ample savings. And they
Yes.
came to me having a sense of how much they, knowing their numbers, we say in the industry, but a sense of how much they want to spend and how much they are earning.
Yeah.
But they have continued working with me for years because they appreciate the systems that are in place. They appreciate the ease that having a system gives them. They're not doing that mental number juggling in their heads. And no matter where each of us are on our money journey, there's usually another layer of having your abundance and money feeling more embodied. So
Yes.
I've worked with people huge range. I mean, I've worked with women in their 20s who a woman in her 20s who's starting her own welding business. So, she has that power and confidence in that area of life, but not in money. Working with a woman in her 30s who's just starting her tech career, in
Yep.
Silicon Valley. And so she's got stock options and she's got this and she's got the income coming in and she's going, how do I make sure I do this in a smart way? And then I
Yes.
work with entrepreneurs and uh, s- empty nesters in their 60s who are saying, I've made it this far, but this is not going to last forever. And so how can I shore myself up for the future? So this course really has this like serpentine, flirtatious way of meeting everyone's needs exactly where they are.
Yes. And so it's not the age of the person or anything, that it's their relationship with money that brings them in. And they want a better relationship
Mhm.
with money. They want a more loving and supportive relationship with money.
Yeah.
Because if I think of myself, I know that the stories I tell myself about money and my life with money are actually two very separate things.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I might not have been abundantly wealthy, but I've always had a roof over my head. I've always had a
Yes.
fridge full of food and
Hmm.
everything that, you know, I've always had clothes on my back, and
Yes.
I've always had nice things as
Yeah.
well.
And
Um,
all of your money decisions have gotten you to this beautiful day that where you
yes.
are radiant and where the sun is coming up again tomorrow. And so
Well,
acknowledging
I'm in
that,
Scotland, so I hope.
right. Well, the moon will go away. There, we'll say that much.
Yeah, day will come, but we might not have sun. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Of to acknowledge, to give that to yourself, that even though you want better sex doesn't mean you're not having great sex. So that's an
Yes.
example of we as humans we're told not to be greedy, but it's very natural. We always want more. That doesn't mean more stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean accumulating hordes of savings. It means more peace, more pleasure, more fun, more flirt.
Yeah.
Of why wouldn't we want more?
Yeah, and also we want more because more is what we're here for. Because once we've done one thing, that's behind us. We don't
Mhm.
want the thing we've done because we've now done it. So we want to
Mhm.
tick another box we want another adventure, another
Yes.
experience. And sometimes the money is part and parcel of that energetics to allow us to move forward with that experience.
I think that's really a beautiful gift too, like to hear from your gorgeous accent. We all love your accent. Uh, it's really that permission to want more and to want more aliveness. It's hard to give to ourselves. So thank you for saying that in your beautiful accent.
That's okay. I have no other voice. Al- Although my youngest daughter is training to be an actress, so we have quite a lot of accents in the house now and again, but I'm not very good at them. I've just got my own.
Yes, it is tough.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
I would like to ask a question, and you are a very unique person, so it's exciting to find out what your answer will be. But what is your relationship to flirt and to flirting and flirtation? Because that's an essential part, and I would love to just hear from you that discussion of what it means to you.
Well, I am an outrageous flirt.
Yes,
I
you are.
I can flirt with anything,
Hmm.
anything at all. I was out for dinner a couple of years back. I didn't realize how much I flirted. And I went up to the ladies' bathroom and I had to go up this beautiful, well, I thought it was a beautiful wooden staircase. So I went up the staircase, and when I came back down, I sort of like was gliding my hand down the banister, and each step I was sort of like slightly dancing on the steps as I came down. And when I got down, the man at the bottom said, "I like the way you walk down the stairs."
Oh, 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 yes, yes. This is so important because, like sexuality and greediness, there's a lot of bad rap with the word flirt.
It's playful. It's the essence of it is playing with life.
Mm,
It's, to be flirtatious isn't just a sexual thing. It's being flirtatious with life. It's playing with the things that have it. It's laughter and enjoying what is. You
yes.
know, um, I went out and bought a blind. I mean, it's in the mundane, it's here everywhere. So I bought a blind, a window blind
Yes, yes.
yesterday. And because I'm very impatient, I thought I'm just going to put this up now. And I had the kids in the kitchen, and I get my drill and they're talking to me and I'm going at them.
Yes, that playfulness.
And they're laughing and playing. So to me, it is flirtatiousness is a sort of like river of spirit running through life. It's this energy that makes everything enjoyable. So
Hmm.
flirtatious finances are exactly where they should be, because you know wh- everything that we can change from being a should and a chore to being joyful and playful changes our experience of being here. So we then enjoy the money that we have. We enjoy giving to the beggar on the street. We enjoy
Hmm.
it. We know that we actually have $2 that we can give him.
Oh,
And that it's okay. It's going to be okay because
oh,
he's flirting with us, and we're allowed to flirt back.
oh, I love it. The master class of flirt. Well, thank you. Yes, you just said it all of being able to enjoy ourselves with ourselves. You even started your story with you went up this staircase that, well, you thought it was a beautiful staircase because you were already in that flirtatious space.
Mhm.
And so what members of this group have said before is, it's the first time I feel like I'm allowed to feel good about money. And that's why the flirtation with finances, of letting ourselves enjoy being in that space, because it's contagious. Then the person at the bottom of the stairs acknowledges that, and that feeds you, and it is that beautiful flow of energy. So thank you for explaining that perfectly. I mean, way better than I ever would have. So
I don't
uh,
think so.
you are the
But it is
flirtation
the
queen.
beginning of a relationship as well. I mean, I don't see how. I mean, I could never be in a relationship with somebody without flirting,
Yes.
and like, without flirting all the time, all the way through.
Yes.
Every day, if they weren't prepared to join me in laughter, to join me in
Mhm.
laughter,
And if people think about their relationships with money, oh, I hate money, or I never have enough money. If you would imagine being in a relationship with someone who said, I hate her and I never see her enough of her, you would not feel like it was fun to hang out with this
No,
money. Uh,
no, no, no.
so that is the real tapestry beneath all of this course, which is coming to that place of every day for the rest of your life, finding that fun with money.
Yes, yes. Stopping the thought and saying, "Oh my God, money's flirting with me."
Yes, 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 yes.
It's saying to me, "Look, come and get me."
Mhm. Yes. So we have a little dose of flirt in every class, and then we go through a transformation of the relationship with money of, ooh, is this for real? And oh, can I count on money? And this is long term. So those are the
Mm.
different levels of how we play with money through Flirt with Your Finances.
Well, it sounds absolutely wonderful. And people will be blessed for being with you, with all your experience, with your
Thank you.
circus experience and your
Thank you.
Chinese experience
Yes.
and your wide, wide view of the world from
Mm.
having lived in all these different places and done all these astounding and interesting things. The rest
Well,
of
I
us
mean,
just,
you could go on for sure, but you did remind me of one little thing by saying that of
oh,
my work as a coach, that I have taught people to climb those silks up in the ceiling and leap off of platforms and help them stay accountable. And so some people, when they hear a course like this is going to be intensive and really is going to change who you are, you have to trust that the person holding the safety lines, A, has your best interest at heart, but B, knows just how to push you. And so a lot of people have said to me, oof, I don't know if I'm ready to do that much work. And I will help you be ready. In each class, I find people, all right, this is your one next step for you to take. And that beautiful interplay of where you are as a person developing your relationship to money and being guided by this coach that I mean, I've been coaching since the 5th grade. And that feeling of I will be there for you and gently push you.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, everybody, thank you so much for listening to me and Olivia. And as she just said, you know what the next first step is.
Mm, thank you.
Thank you.